Breaking news in a CBS Sports HQ, there will be no baseball on Monday night. Game 3 of the World Series has been rained out. This has been confirmed by our David Samson. Major League Baseball made the decision a little bit more than an hour prior to scheduled first pitch. This means Game 3 will instead take place on Tuesday, with all following games and off days being pushed a day as well. All right, instant reaction from Philadelphia, and here in studio alongside David Samson and Hakem Dermish, I'm Joe Musso. Hakem, we're going to head your way first here. Take us through the process of how this decision was made.
Yeah, Major League Baseball met with both clubs, met with the umpires, and they came to the decision that there's too much rain on the way. As you can see now, it is pouring down behind me, and there is a monsoon on the way. Maybe I'm a little bit playing that up a little bit, but there is a lot of rain headed to South Philly right now and throughout the night. And the next 3 days are in the 70s and sunny. So it's not always sunny in Philadelphia, but it is going to be sunny for the next 3 days. And when they made the announcement here at Citizens Bank Park, it was a loud boo from the fans because now they got to make other plans, of course, for their Halloween night. So they get tricked instead of getting treated here to a Game 3 at Citizens Bank Park. But you wait another night, you play it with good weather. And ultimately, Joe, this benefits the Phillies because now they can line up Ranger Suarez in Game 3 and have Noah Syndergaard come out of the bullpen.
All right, Hakem Dermish, when he breaks out the bullpen jacket and the umbrella, you know things have gone left, but we just heard him say it there, David, the way this affects the pitching rotations. Do you see it the same way, that this is a benefit to Philadelphia?
Yeah, they're sitting down right now and redoing their entire postseason rotation because you can actually have Nola on regular rest pitching Game 4 and then Wheeler on regular rest pitching Game 5. It means you've got Syndergaard in 6, but then you've got Suarez on regular rest for 7. It's a long way of saying this off day helps this time of year. It doesn't help MLB, it doesn't help the fans, but it definitely helps the teams. Both the Astros and the Phillies will change their rotations, not for Game 3 necessarily on the Astros side. They're still going to go with McCullers, but it does mean that they can have Verlander and Valdez back in 4 and 5.
All right, so some short-term effects when it comes to the pitching staff, but long-term effects perhaps within the greater picture of this series, Hakem. How do you see this affecting the grander scheme of things? You do have, as you said, a raucous crowd that wanted to see baseball here on Monday night. They will bring that same intensity, I'm sure, on Tuesday. But big picture, do you see this making a huge difference?
I don't see it making a big difference, especially because the weather is going to be really good the next 3 days here in Philadelphia. I think the biggest advantage is really for the Phillies being able to trot out Ranger Suarez in Game 3. And I asked Chas McCormick about what this means for him and the Astros. And I said, did you get ramped up for this game? And he said, actually, we didn't get ramped up like we normally do. Our strength and conditioning coach told us to take it light because of the impending weather. So Chas McCormick, who's from outside of Philadelphia, he knows the weather can be crazy here. And it's wild how this is sort of history repeating itself, Joe, because in 1993, Game 3 of the World Series, delayed because of rain. 2008, Game 3, delayed by rain, and then if Game 5 was pushed back a couple days, that game was suspended. And then in 2009, the same thing. Game 3 was delayed because of rain here in Philadelphia. Now, here in 2022, Game 3, delayed, suspended, now because of rain.
Yeah, so there is precedent there, and a nice peek behind the curtain, Hakem giving us on how the players are currently assessing the situation and preparing. But from your point of view, when players are thrown into these types of situations, in these high-leverage moments, David, how does that affect maybe the psyche of the player?
They're actually fine with it, right? They're going to go home right now. They're maybe even go out to dinner. If you're on the road, which the Astros are, the team bus will leave about 20 minutes from now. Maybe someone like Dusty Baker could do a quick media hit, but they don't even have to. You get the team bus ready to go. You take off the uniform, which was not fully on. There'll be food at the hotel. The players will end up going out and getting a good dinner. This actually benefits the Astros as much as it does the Phillies, and I want to explain their bullpen. When you can get extra rest for Montero and for Presley, that is a benefit. When you're not playing the 5 games in a row, remember, MLB is keeping an off day on Friday. It was supposed to be Thursday. They're moving it back to Friday. Any off day this time of year helps a bullpen. Who's the better bullpen? The Astros. So while it helps the Phillies starters, It helps the Astros starters and bullpen even more so. Advantage Astros in this rain delay.
You mentioned there the MLB moving the off day as well, maintaining that off day for these two teams, but they've also really changed the way they've handled rain delays, especially in these types of moments. You alluded to that earlier in the day. In years past, maybe we start this ball game and see how deep we can get, but that's no longer the case when the MLB is making a decision like this.
Yeah, you heard Hakeem talk about the suspension of a game during the World Series. Those days are over. There will not be any more suspended games. They don't even like having delayed games, but once they start, they don't stop. So if they don't get a 4-hour window, and this year they consulted 3, not 1, not 2, 3 meteorologists. I have no idea. There was like a quorum of meteorologists telling them, but if they don't get the 4-hour window, they just say they're not even going to start. And that's actually to the benefit of the players and not as much of the fans. They come and they wait, but at this time, at least, they did not keep them waiting very long.
And David, this was handled well by Major League Baseball because if you remember Game 5 at Yankee Stadium between the Yankees and Guardians, they made fans sit, they made the players sit for hours and hours until they finally made an announcement that the game would be postponed. Here in Philadelphia, they did not do that. They made a quick, swift decision. People were not entirely in the ballpark. There were fans here for sure, but it wasn't completely filled at the moment. So in one aspect, Major League Baseball did a good job of handling, getting out in front of this and communicating it well to everyone involved.
You know, we're only as good as our reporting, and I like to confirm things. Hakeem, I need you to lose the umbrella for 2 seconds. I just need you to make sure it's raining. It is raining. It is raining. That's our Hakeem Dermish in Philadelphia. David Samson in studio. We thank you both for stopping by. All right, and here's a look at the Phillies at home. This postseason, we will have to wait another night. The Phillies 5-0, still perfect in front of that crowd that's got a winning football team, a pennant-winning baseball team, and one that's looking for a World Series. We are knotted at 1, but waiting till Tuesday for Game 3 of the World Series.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.